Hey folks, Brian Blessing in Las Vegas. Glad to be with you here at ATS.io. Our buddy Adam Burke, he's got you cooking with his podcast, and he is ready to rock and roll in baseball this year. And we're ready to rock and roll in golf this week. One of my favorite events of the year from a betting perspective. It's the WGC-Dell Technologies Match play in Austin, and it's a great course, and it's a great opportunity to watch, and then in subsequent rounds, you spot something and you get value in numbers. I hate the value word, but you truly find value by watching the first day they play and come back the next day. Opportunities abound throughout the course of this event. What we're trying to do on the front end of this is who can win the whole thing. Kevin Kistner is the defending champ. I think you've got to go price play hunting, and you look at the brackets, it's like March Madness. I think Patrick Reed has a big shot. He was the guy I was looking at long and hard. He's got that demeanor for match play, but he got a grisly draw, just a brutal part of the bracket that Reed's in. What you ideally want to do is grab a guy at a big price in each quadrant of the bracket, and at the end of the day, hope that you get two of your guys playing one another in the final. It can be done. I think you go price hunting on the front end of this thing. Now, Sergio Garcia at 50-1 is a guy I'll absolutely play on. His form's very good. He lives in Austin, and he's played well here before. 50-1's a screaming price on Sergio Garcia. Another guy coming out of his quadrant of the bracket, I think you look for guys that can really roll the rock. And don't forget, it's not stroke play, it's match play. One bad hole doesn't hurt you. A guy that's always hovering around the leaderboard is Kevin Streelman at 150-1. Another crazy long shot price. But you could look at Jordan Spieth and say, look, he could have a couple of shots he sprays and he doesn't shoot himself out of the tournament. The way Spieth's putting in current form, Spieth is certainly a guy you consider, but the price is not that great. But a guy of a similar ilk who rolls the rock great, because putting can be the difference, is Brendan Todd at 125-1. And then I was torn. He's always there, but can't kick the door down in terms of winning the stroke play event. But boy, from 15 feet and in, Matthew Fitzpatrick rolls the rock as good as anybody. Cam Smith is putting good. But Fitzpatrick, the way he drew in his quadrant, is a guy to consider at 40-1. I think you go price hunting on the front end of this thing. DeChambeau, Justin Thomas, 12-1. DJ's 14-1. John Rahm has played well in the match play before. These are guys that certainly can win the event. You can make money. You can play on them in their particular matches. But for the futures to win the whole thing, I think you're really sitting on, take a bigger price on the front end. You can readjust as the days go on. So I think Garcia, Streelman, Todd, and Fitzpatrick make my ticket on the front end of the event. But watch and see who's playing well, because what happens one day, a guy, wins his event 4-2, but he had 3 shots that were going to go OB and hit a tree and came back in. He was lucky as could be. And then the next day, he's a big favorite in an event when the other guy was much steadier than him. Really, the eyeball test matters. It's the WGC-Dell Technologies Match play. Great event, great opportunity to make some dough. We're looking forward to teeing it up this week. And don't forget, it's a Wednesday start. Glad to be with you in Las Vegas for ATS.io. I'm Brian Blessing.